Hello, everybody. Now, this episode is going to be more interesting as we are discussing about the life and achievement one of world's most prominent mathematician whose discoveries affecting and directing the ways of science and scientific advancements even after centuries. Yes, we are discussing about life and work of Indian mathematical genius Srinivasa Ramanujan. In this episode, we are going to know about one decade tenure of his life, that is 1897 to 1907. During this period, he was living his life for 11 to 20 years. As in the last episode, we discussed under how much adverse conditions, how much his family's poor background, he was continuing his education and his extreme devotion towards mathematical research. Now, we are about to know the more interesting facts of second decades of his life. As we know, he was from very poor family background. What was happening, how his family were surviving, as we know, his father was working as a clerk in a private garment shop. His mother were serving to the temples, singing song for the deities. Even after they were unable to compensate to lead their family properly, in order to have the additional income, they were rented of his part of his house to the college students. So what was happened? Two college students were tenants of his house. They were staying at the first floor. Then, as he had extreme interest in mathematics, he used to sit with those college students and learn from them, and sometimes also used to teach them. By this process, at the age of 11 years, he mastered at least basic mathematics, even we can say up to the college level mathematics, and sometimes he used to give tuition to the college level students. When Ramanujan was 11 years of his age, that means in the 1898 years time period, if we recall. Thereafter, in the age of 13 years, he mastered the book of S.L. Loney. It was about advanced trigonometry. At that time, it was difficult to understand such kind of advanced book. And again, for the school student, considered it was impossible. But he did that. In the age of 14 years, he was recognized by his merits and received academic awards for his excellency, especially in mathematics. Now the year we can see a miracle year of his life, 1902 came. At the age of 15 of his age, he solved cubic equations independently. And again, he was trying to solve quantic, that another kind of problems in mathematics. At that time, that problem was impossible to solve by even experienced mathematician. Ramanujan was not knowing that this was such kind of advanced problem, but he tried and proposed his own solution. In the same year, when other things was happened, he came across a book of G.S. Kaur. It was about synopsis of elementary, pure and applied mathematics, and it contained 500 theorems. He came across and understand the theorems, which was considered impossible at that time for the students of the school, but he did that. Again, in 1904, the year, he passed, graduated, that means 10th class education from the town secondary school, and also secured a scholarship for further study at the Government College of Arts in Kumbakoram. Later, he got admission in that college, but due to his extreme interest toward mathematics, he only devoted all of his time to mathematics, ignored all other subjects. As a result, he failed his Fellow of Art examination. That we consider 12th class at present time in Indian education system. It was Fellow of Arts, that means FA examination. It was governed by the British education system in India, because India was ruled by the Britishers at that time. So, because he lost the education, he lost the fellowship, he was under extreme pressure, and one day in night he left his house without informing anybody of his family or friends or surroundings. Simply he came out from his home and sit in a train without knowing where this train was going, and later he landed in Visakhapatnam, another town very far from his home, and there in one locality he was stayed for a month. Later, after he returned from there, he took admission in a Pachaipa college of Madras. But again the same issue came with him: extreme interest in mathematics, no interest in other subject. So in year 1906, that means at that time his age was 19 years, he failed again in a Pachaipa college. A year later, in 1907, again he failed his examinations, passing only in mathematics by securing 100%, that failed in all other subjects. That means 1907, it was the year. That means when he was 20, he did not pass the examinations. Thereafter, he continued his research independently, living in extreme poverty and sometime on the border of starvation. But he did not left his passion of mathematical science research. If we summarize his struggle for this 10-year duration, we can do understand, because of his interest, how much problem he faced, and there was no such system that any mechanism can make to help him to do research in mathematics. And by one subject he cannot get any certificate, cannot get any qualification, cannot get any job for his survival. So at the age of 20 years, he was facing such problem in one side, that means his academic part, and again its impact and effect on the society, that means his social side he is also facing, means that other kind of problem, that means people considering him failed, means the person who has no standing in education, no standing in society, because he was considered the useless fellow at that time. But I think only Ramanujan was aware his ability, because surroundings, even in India, the university level professors also unable to understand his mathematics, his thought. So he was living in extreme adverse surroundings, but only his passion towards original mathematical research forcing him to continue his work without any kind of pressure. And how he continues his work and how he gets success, we will see in next episode.